it's not a straightforward kind of thing that um, publishers are saying, you have to produce, you're a producer, you have to give us a product which will sell. It's never as straightforward as that. It always comes couched in the wonderful, um, democratic opportunity opening in the highest sense of those words, language. Um, Also value. Also, it comes in terms of value, where publishers will speak of literary writing and books they're going to be publishing as masterpieces, even classics, and what they mean whenever they say we are about to publish a masterpiece is that this book is going to sell 50,000 copies or 100,000 copies. But unlike other things in the marketplace, a producer of um, crisps or cola or whatever. I mean, they won't speak in terms of value. They'll speak in terms of the market quite purely. So it's interesting how marketing in literature comes couched in the language of value, and only expresses itself in the language of value. It never actually speaks about products, although that's what it deals in quite clear-headedly and quite ruthlessly. The earlier model was, we will publish best-selling authors. I mean, this was of the established publishing houses of pedigree, who had traditionally over maybe a century published great major writers. We will publish authors we are proud of publishing, but we will also publish best-selling writers, and in a way they will subsidize the other ones, the ones we are proud of publishing, who may not sell that many copies. That model was thrown out of the window when people said, oh, why should not serious writers sell copies? I mean, what's to keep them from selling copies? They have every right to sell copies. That's the way it was put. Basically what they're saying is they have to sell copies. That's the moment when that began. So the whole positioning of it, the language of it, has been fascinating, and one has to become aware of that language to counter it. It's not just enough to say that you're selling. What you're doing is this, you're trying to turn literature into a product. It's far more. The process is far more interesting. Unless you kind of take on board the way it's happening, you cannot counter it. They will have a reply to this kind of thing where you say that you're trying to turn literature into a product. They'll have a ready reply to that. It's precisely that they're not selling it as a product but are, that makes it so fascinating and makes it necessary to counter in a different way. And that's where the whole thing about literary activism and becoming aware of the language in which this sort of dissemination takes place. That was one of the starting points, not the sole starting point, one of them, because literary activism is not just concerned with the market. It's concerned with various things, including academia, etc.